It's been a while since I made an Overwatch video, and a lot of cool stuff has happened with that game, so I thought we could just kind of go over it all right now. The one that's probably on everyone's mind is Brigitte. I hope I'm saying that name right. I just know it's not Brigitte, and she's new to the game. She's really cool. I'm going to be honest, I have mixed feelings about her, but all of my dislikes of her are very personal. So let me say that overall I think she's a great hero, and I think she fills a very unique and special role that I believe the game really needed. A tank healer hybrid is awesome, and I've been wanting one of those forever. Like, for the longest time, the closest thing we've had to a tank healer was Lucio, because Lucio has the most just constant self-healing, so he can, you know, kind of take a lot of damage. It's more of a peeling tank than an actual tanky tank. Brigitte is the first actual healer tank who actually fills that criteria, and she is really, really good at it. And she's got a number of other special abilities, most specifically that darned stun. Every 5 seconds she can just flatten somebody with her shield charge, and that's honestly one of the reasons that she really bugs me. This is coming from this perspective of someone playing against her, not someone playing as her. I feel like there's... I think I just have to get my mind wired around the fact that there's somebody other than McCree who's just going to stun you if you get within melee range of them, because I'm used to kind of having carte blanche if there's not a McCree on the field, and I just haven't... It's taken me a while, and I just have not managed to figure out you can't go close to the Brigitte. And I'm sure that once I actually figure that out, I'll have an easier time of it. But all things considered, I've actually had a really hard time finding matches I enjoy since Brigitte came out, other than ones where nobody on either team is playing as her. And I can't figure out why that is exactly. I can't point to any one thing in particular that says this is why Brigitte is making Overwatch less fun. I don't, and again, the reason that I'm saying that I think this is really personal is because I think she's just kind of countering all the classes I'm used to playing. Lucio enjoys boops, he enjoys close range. Brigitte just stuns him, forgets about him, and she's also she's also an area of effect healer, so she's kind of encroaching on my territory while also shutting me down on the offense front. So I think she's healthy for the game as a whole. She is less healthy for my playstyles. I'm not overly enjoying her, and I have found myself playing a lot more competitive for the sole reason that Brigitte is not there. And Brigitte will not be added to competitive until season, what's coming up? Season 10, I suppose, since we're on 9 right now. A lot of people were upset about that. They're saying, hey, Blizzard, why are you making it take so long for Brigitte to come to the new competitive? I want to play Brigitte now, and I don't play quick play, and I'm really, really upset. Blizzard, why you do this to me? I personally, I'm like one of the only people who actually think that's a good idea, and I am, again, biased because I don't want to play against her, so I appreciate having a competitive circuit where she is not ruining all my games. But I think that what Blizzard is doing is they're trying to make the competitive circuit feel more like the Overwatch League. In the Overwatch League, they're constantly playing a few patches behind because the players need to have a chance to actually get used to the game as they're playing it. And when Blizzard rolls out a new balance patch and suddenly certain heroes are buffed or nerfed or even added to the game, that suddenly changes the playing field in a way that will lead to less balanced games. And that's why, maps like Blizzard World has just not shown up in the Overwatch League, and that they're always playing a couple patches behind the rest of us. And so they're doing something similar to that by holding back on having the new heroes added to the competitive circuit. And I think that I can see why people are upset by it, but I do think overall that is a fair thing to do, and it adds to the legitimacy of competitive as a realm for people to play the game competitively and actually have a level playing field. 'Cause it's true, by waiting until Season 10, they are going to get a medley of people who are actually good at playing Brigitte, because we will have all been playing for and against her for over a month. Speaking of the Overwatch League, I wish I had more to say about it. I have been following it and enjoying the games, and I thought I was going to have a lot of articles and things to write about, and there has been no shortage of scandals and scintillating things that I could totally be talking about, like the Shanghai Dragons having lost every single map, or not every single map, but they've lost every single round. I think they've taken a few maps here and there, but never enough to actually win a full round. And the Dallas Fuel has been going through some exciting scandals, and I enjoy... I mean, honestly, the thing I mostly have to say about the Overwatch League is that I'm glad that it is succeeding on its own merits, and that while there are complaints here and there about certain teams, those complaints fall largely within those actual teams. People are saying, I'm upset with how the Dallas Fuel is structuring its team. They're not saying, I'm mad at the Overwatch League in its entirety. Everybody seems to have accepted it as a legitimate esport, which I'm very, very pleased about, because Overwatch has a lot of similarities to Team Fortress 2, my favorite game ever, and I remember watching competitive TF2 and thinking, man, I wish this was mainstream. I wish I could find random people on the streets who mained Medic or Demo Man, and where all of these we could have like competitive teams, and basically I wished everything that's happening to Overwatch could happen to TF2. And while Overwatch is not TF2, it's similar enough that I can get invested in it and really enjoy the experience of being a fan of a mainstream sports team playing something that I not only play myself but care about, and that everyone everywhere also cares about it. I have this Overwatch jacket that, if you've seen, I have pictures of myself, and the Spuff of Legend has had a few videos where I'm pitching things to my college, usually medical necessity related stuff, and you'll see that I'm wearing this Overwatch jacket in all those videos, and it's cool because people on the street will just randomly say, hey, that's an Overwatch jacket, who's your main? And they'll have a main and we'll talk about it, and it's amazing, because that's not really, TF2 is a great game, but it was never mainstream to the extent that Overwatch has managed to pull off. So that is another cool thing. If you're not following the Overwatch League at all, this is a great time to get in. Season 2, I don't know if it's season or series, but Season 2 of the Overwatch League has just ended, and Season 3 is starting the next few days, so this is a really good opportunity to start checking stuff out from the front. And there is actually one last thing I wanted to talk about. I've been doing a good job segueing from topic to topic, but I can't do that this time because it's not really a good segue. The coming event for Overwatch is going to be another Uprising. If you remember the Uprising event, it added a PvE version of Overwatch where you could play as Torbjorn, Mercy, Tracer, and Reinhardt on Tracer's first ever mission. That was cool stuff, and it is coming back. This time, instead of that particular Uprising theme, they have decided to change the theme to Archives, which means that they are, and in the future it's going to remain the Archives concept, which is basically, there's like, pretend there's like a vault of Overwatch lore, and every year there's going to be a PvE event that uses a lore storyline. Like, last year was the Uprising event when the Omnics tried to take over, and this year they're heavily hinting it's going to have something to do with Blackwatch, the kind of under the hood illegal Overwatch mirror team that did the more shady stuff. And we have 4 heroes that used to be a part of Blackwatch. We have McCree, Moira, Genji, and Reaper. So it's more than likely that those are going to be our 4 playable characters for this event. I'm very excited because I love PvE in general, and I can't wait to have another PvE event. Overwatch has had they've done such a good job with their PvE events, because you remember the very first one ever was Junkenstein's Revenge, which was basically just sitting there killing zombie Zomnics, and then the Uprising event added objectives and storyline, and I can only imagine that they're going to get even better after they've had this practice making a PvE event. So I'm very excited for what is coming in Overwatch's near future, and I encourage anyone who's fallen off the Overwatch boat to jump back in, because the Uprising event, I'd hazard to say that it's the most popular event Overwatch had last year, due to the emphasis on PvE and lore, 2 things that people really love and wish that there were more of. So that's just my thoughts on the various Overwatch things that are happening right now. Great time to be an Overwatch fan. I hope you are all having a great day. This is Abacus with the Spuff of Legend, signing out.